Ami.
I will begin with our audit of the Canada Revenue Agency's contact centres and whether they provided Canadians with timely and accurate information about personnel taxes, about benefits, and also about business taxes. The Canada Revenue Agency has a duty to help individuals and businesses meet their tax obligations and to access benefits. I am concerned that in spite of a new call system and other improvements, Canadians are still waiting too long to get answers to their tax questions. During the last fiscal year, callers choosing to speak with an agent waited on average 31 minutes, more than twice as long as the agency's service standard of 15 minutes. When callers did reach an agent, they were often provided with inaccurate information.
Placed calls to contact centres and asked general or non-account specific questions. We found agents' responses to individual tax questions were accurate only 17% of the time, and business tax or benefit questions were accurate just over half of the time. To test the accuracy of agents' responses to account-specific questions, we reviewed a sample of recorded conversations. We found that the accuracy was much higher when questions pertained to specific accounts.
There are three things certain in life today: death, taxes, and you will wait on hold when you call the CRA. Another damning report that Canadians continue to pay more and get less. The average wait time is 31 minutes. The service standard is met only 18% of the time within 15 minutes, despite a 2017 effort of CRA's efforts to block calls. 8.6 million calls were deflected where individuals did not have an opportunity to speak to an agent. As far as accuracy is concerned, only 54% of the time accurate information was given, and 17% of the time relative to tax-specific questions. The priority for the CRA is breaks, in that it was shown that the CRA placed greater importance on how closely they adhered to their schedule for their shift and breaks than the accuracy and completeness of the calls that were provided. In one call recording, after 9 minutes, the agent remarked that the personal information authentication was taking too long for a 90-year-old caller who was having difficulty finding and recalling the correct answers. So why should Canadians tolerate this unacceptable service?
I think there's lots of opportunities within Canada Revenue Agency to improve how they provide service to Canadians, and having only about 10% of an agent's annual performance review based on the accuracy and completeness of their responses, in my mind, does not encourage a good culture where accuracy and completeness is top of mind. You know, in Canada, our tax system is a voluntary one, and Canadians are expected to provide their tax returns on time with accurate information, and I think in return they should expect that the Canada Revenue Agency will be available in a timely fashion and provide them with accurate information. And what we're seeing is that is not the case, and this was meant to be a follow-up to see if things had improved since 2017. And I would say that if you're calling about a general question, they haven't gotten better. But if you are calling about specific things about your account, you will get an accurate answer. However, you know, the My Account creation was meant to take calls away from a call center, and a majority of the calls received by the call center right now are trying to access My Account. So I think there's a lot of opportunities to make this more efficient for Canadian taxpayers.
Thank you.
A quick follow-up, are you good?
Sure. The contract with IBM quadrupled from $50 million over 10 years to $190 million. When asked as well, neither Shared Services Canada nor the Canada Revenue Agency could confirm whether the invoice levels of activity, which were the basis for the charges invoiced to the agency, were accurate. So we're seeing the same type of practices not being followed that we saw in Arrive scam. When will this government learn, and will Canadians ever get value for money?
Well, when we set out to do this audit, we were actually looking at the accuracy and timeliness of CRA's responses, but obviously we wanted to turn to whether or not the call center was providing good value for money. When we looked at the contract, which started at $50 million and is now estimated to be valued at $190 million, it does represent services for 3 departments. So the Canada Revenue Agency is about 30% of that value. But we found that invoices received very little scrutiny. And as you mentioned, that Shared Services and Canada Revenue Agency didn't verify the accuracy of what was being charged. So there were enough red flags here for me, and my inability to conclude on value for money is such that I will be starting an audit on the management of this contract so that it would inform the future contract for call center services that Shared Services Canada has just released.
I'm thrilled.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very much.
We have no problem with some things as Canadians, but when Canadians are harassed by the CRA, it is a terrible situation, particularly when they don't have good information and they can't access that information at the call center. What we are hearing is the level of mediocrity that exists at the CRA. Only 5% of the cases respected the service standards that had been established for the CRA. 4 times out of 5, the information that people got wasn't right. 17% of questions and information given about taxpayers was not the proper information that they needed, and therefore the respect for the Canadian taxpayer has not been provided. They say that there is shift work that is being done, but I am not convinced. How have we gotten to this level of mediocrity? Well, that represents some 10% of what the workers are doing. To my mind, this is an agency that definitely would like to provide better service, and I understand the frustration of Canadians when they have a very long wait time to get answers. In a system where it is the responsibility of taxpayers to provide information on a timely basis to the CRA, people should be able to contact, if need be, the agents of the CRA, and they expect to get an exact answer and exact information during a reasonable time frame. And there is a great deal of improvement that can be made at the CRA. Well, yes, the telephone system has a value that's gone from $50 to $110 million. That's their telephone system that was supposed to be improved. And the people are still waiting far too long to get answers. Do you think that there can be an improvement to be made here? When you have 18% of people that have to wait 15 minutes or longer, the service standard that was established by the CRA, well, as to the management of the contract itself, it's not just a matter of the number of CRA officers that are there, but also the use of the tools that are available to officers to improve the situation. I saw so many red flags with this particular contract that I thought we should look more closely at the contract at the call centers that are managed by Shared Services Canada, but until 26. But there is a need for more exactness, reasonable time frames, And I think that that has to be looked at more clearly.